Hello people everywhere. Sorry I've been taking so long with updates. I've had a lot on my mind and a lot to do. For example, I've been watching the World Cup and I've been working on the other chapters with more than one. We've got chapters 2, 3 and 4 completed now. It was around 2012 when I met the gang. The gang consisted of a group of Pokemon who were different in unusual ways. Let's take the leader, Pinsir, for example. He's different because he has been given supreme power by Mew. In fact, Pinsir was also the first Pokemon to have ever challenged me to a battle. Sorry about that. I didn't really know what a battle was, but I'd seen them on television. They're really interesting devices, those TVs. It's like another world out there. So the battle got underway and he knocked me out with one low kick move. He then went up to me, discriminating me and insulting me, calling me weak. So I went to train, and about 3 days later I went back to Pinsir and he said, "Back for more, wimp?" I simply stopped and closed my eyes. And then I said, "Act tough all you flipping want, mate. It won't get you anywhere but flattened like the pimply bug you are. You get me?" The Pinsir's smile evidently faded. In fact, I think I'd hurt its feelings a little bit. This time, I was the one to win with one move. A single brick break attack to the face was all it took to knock him out. I saw the other members of the gang staring. "Anyone else want some?" I yelled and glared at them. Of course they all backed down. I decided that I should just forget those events and move on, but I never forgot the events. Otherwise I wouldn't have written down and wasted the past 3 minutes of your life. So anyway, later on that day, I was just shooting a breeze and chilling when suddenly I saw this Pidgeot. But there was something orange in its talons. I flew up to get a closer look and saw it was a Charmander. I yelled to the bird, "Hey, put that poor thing down." The bird simply jeered and said, "As you wish," and it ascended up into the sky and then dropped it from about 80 feet up in the air. Without thinking, an initial reaction, I jumped up and caught it in my arms, landing on my 2 feet. But the moment my skin came into contact with hers, I had a flashback to the events of Nightmare Pond. But I didn't really understand what was happening. I asked if the Charmander was okay. She said she was fine, and she thanked me, but then left. A few days later, I was sitting in a tree around the same area when I saw her again. She looked kind of nervous, but I knew she knew I was there. "I can see you, you know that, right?" she asked. Then she laughed as I fell out of the tree and landed on my head. It hurt. "Careful, falling out of trees can hurt," she joked. "I never asked your name, did I?" I said, kind of breaking the ice. You see, that was my kind of thing. Even though I was an ice type, not a fighting type, I always broke the ice. "It's Alexandra," she replied to me in a very sweet voice. I told her my name, and she said that she had envisioned our meeting. "Really? That's unusual. And can I just say, your colouring is amazing." "Unique," I complimented her, breaking the ice again. "Oh, thanks," she said, smiling. I simply replied with a badass tone, "No worries." We got to know each other a little better, yada yada yada. And she told me about there being other worlds out there, other planets. And she mentioned one called Mobius, on which she said she had a friend with godlike abilities. I got very intrigued by this, and yet another icebreaker. "I'd like to meet this friend of yours, Alex." "I would take you to Mobius, but I haven't got the energy," she replied. I closed my eyes, and I began to focus. That's when I unlocked my first ability, NRG share. I transferred energy from mine to hers. Then I noticed something on the ground. It looked somewhat like this. After using the NRG share, I was pretty wiped out, and I passed out. My shades fell off. The last thing I heard was the smashing of glass. And the next thing I knew, I was back in an unusual world like I'd never seen. I opened my eyes and took a look around. There were random floating objects everywhere. I mean, come on, there were 20-pence pieces, there were watches, there were cows floating round. There were all sorts of things like pencil sharpeners and kangaroos even. I think there was even a truck. And there was a fork. I heard a voice from somewhere. It said my name. I looked around, but saw nobody there. I was quite confused at this, and so I decided, first things first, when I woke up, I would get my shades repaired by Haunter, and then I would go and find the claw thingy. I sneaked past Alexandra when I woke up. Haunter came over to me and repaired them, giving them back to me. However, I hadn't noticed that Alexandra had awoken, and she'd vanished when I put them back on. I decided I'd go back to sleep because There was pretty much nothing else to do. And I needed to conserve my energy for going back to sleep anyway. I re-entered this mysterious world. This time there were different objects there, like dice and coat hangers. And there was even a Wii. I was really baffled at what I was seeing. But that's when my eyes locked on an outline. The outline spoke to me. You're here for a reason. The one you gave us long ago. The outline suddenly faded, and the last words I heard were, the stronger you get, the more time we'll have. Remember that. When we woke up, I asked Alexandra if we could go back to Mobius, but she rejected. Yada yada yada. I asked her what she wanted to do for the day, but she replied, I've got a few questions to ask you, mister. I sweat dropped. She was acting weird. I can't be bothered to read chapter 3 yet, so I'll do it in another video some other time. This is Philip, signing off. By the way, if you like my story, be sure to like and leave us a comment or two in the description. And thanks for watching. In the meantime, let's have a quick artwork slideshow. This is irrelevant. It is the Omnitrix off of Ben 10. Why the hell do I have an image of the Omnitrix from Ben 10? What the hell. There's Felipe Ching. Cannonbolt! Yeah, no, I've been mentioning Ben 10 a lot on Plaza, but don't worry about it. That image is really not worth looking at. So that's the end of that chapter. And that's the end of this video. Peace out.